You are listening to the Movement Therapy Podcast.
Brodie, thanks for joining me.
Oh, pleasure to be here.
Really appreciate your time, mate. The goal today is I just want to sort of understand your story a bit. I want to talk about your journey through, obviously, movement therapy, through work, but also your run. We'll get to it.
Yep.
I know there's a bit, you've talked about it a lot, so we're not gonna spend too much, hopefully, early. But yeah, I want to know, tell me about movement therapy. How'd you start getting into it?
I started, I was probably back, it was before November of last year. I was doing my first my first little charity event. I was doing 50 Ks for 5 days. And I was like...
Running?
Yeah, running, 50K, yeah. I was doing it for diabetes as well. This is like my first little thing. And I was just kind of self-training my run or whatever, my own little program. Ended up busted I think I had tendonitis in my Achilles or whatever. I was like, oh no. So I called up, I knew my friend Julia, she obviously sponsored by Movement, so I was like, I'll go there.
Julia Hannaford,
Julia,
we've done a podcast on her if you want to go back.
And then I was like, I just called up and I was like, yo, I need to see someone. And then showed up, went to Adam, and then I've been like every week since, I guess. So yeah.
This is not a plug for movement therapy,
No, just plug for Adam.
Yeah. And did you have any injuries beforehand? Like, what was the...
Not before that. I had that Achilles, and then, I don't know, Adam did something, and it kind of went away. I was off for like a week, and then he just helped me. We uncovered a lot of issues with my body, I think, that I'd never really addressed before. And then...
How was that?
Yeah, it was like, I remember him just going, man, your body is like, whoo, like your hips and everything's out of whack. My feet like sit like that and stuff like that. So we've just been working on like mostly my hips, really.
Yeah. And was that to keep you running? What was the main
goal?
goal?
His goal was to get me to the actual event, and he's like, if you can get through this, then man, you can get through anything. And I was like, no, I'm gonna get through it. And then sure enough, got through the 5 days, and then I obviously had a lot of issues from that 5 days, which we worked on for basically until I did this run, really, and we're still kind of working on stuff from that.
Yeah. So what was that 5 days? What was that all about?
It was to raise money for diabetes. Okay. I did it for 2 different charities back when I first started. I was just kind of, I quit my job tattooing, and I was like lost with life, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was like...
How old were you then?
20.
Yeah.
So it was before 21st. So I was 20, and I was just like, I got to do something. And I enjoyed a bit of running. So I was like, may as well. Read Ned Brockman's book, and I was like, here we are. So I was like, may as well go for a run. And yeah, that ended up being into like the 5-day challenge. And I was so unprepared, and like I was in a world of pain. I think that was like the hardest challenge I've done yet. That just for 5 days, and that was...
So that's 50 Ks every day?
Yeah.
For 5 days?
Yeah, so it's 200... I ended up doing 253 kilometers because I wanted to round out the 6 marathons in 5 days.
Right, yeah.
So I ended up doing 53 on the first day, then 50 for the rest of it. But I was cooked, like it was proper.
How, were you cooked after the first one, or was that...
No, the first day I did, it was like really hot because I did it in November.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if it was like not heat stroke, obviously I didn't die, but it was like heat exhaustion.
Pretty close.
I remember I weighed in before I did it at like maybe 96, 95. And then once I finished, got home or got back to the gym and did the weigh, I was like at 90 kilos or like 89. Wow. I was like, oh no. And I was like, every movement I'd do, I'd cramp. And then I remember like being on the couch at home, just like in and out of sleep, or I don't know, consciousness, whatever it was. So then, one of my roommates got home. He's like, oh man, you need to fucking...
you are not well.
You need to do this and this. And he aided me through it. And then the second day, I think, was kind of like off the back of that heat exhaustion, was just like hell. Like it was like the worst I've ever felt.
Wow.
Like I barely run. And then the third day, I started to come alive a bit. And that's when my feet started like real aching. And I was like, oh God. Then the fourth day, because I was doing it in Wollongong, I went back to Mudgee, where I'm from, for the fourth and fifth day, and ran up all these hills and stuff. And I slowly, I guess, I started feeling a bit better, a bit more accustomed to it. About the fifth day, it was kind of just like business as usual, but there was still like my hips were seized, like my feet were like, it was shocking. There was a little preparation for that one.
What was I just want to get into the mindset of someone who wants to run 50 Ks in 5 days. What was the thought of going, I'm not a runner, I've read Ned Brockman's book, now I'm going to run 250 Ks?
It was honestly, it's all like, it's so stereotypical, but it's all like the, if he can do it, why can't I kind of thing. And it was just like, I feel a lot of diabetic people are scared to kind of do endurance activities. They're kind of told to like, if you're going to go to the gym or whatever, make sure you have all your stuff with you and stay close to your like home base kind of thing. So I was just like, oh, well, I want to run. I like being outdoors and stuff, and I like looking at the coastline. So I was like, oh, this is like mixed 2 and 2. I get to like go for it, and then, yeah, and I just thought Ned grew up in a small country town, like kind of near me. So I was like, we've got no difference. Like, why can't I do this? And then not comparing what I did to him, like it's not even, but yeah. So I was just like, yeah,
that was a good inspiration.
Yeah. It kind of started that.
And then was it that, or was it the diabetes that kind of brought you into that? Like,
it was, because I decided to do it for diabetes, obviously because I'm type 1 diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
And then through doing that first like little stint, I guess, and then like people would reach out to me and like their kids or whatever that were diabetic and go like, oh, it's such inspiration and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, I didn't think it would be such a not big thing, but like I didn't think it would impact like anyone at all. Like I was kind of just doing it for myself to feel something, like in that sense. And then all these other people are saying like, wow, like how did you do that? Like this has inspired me to do this and such. And then it just kind of like took off from there. I was like, I can't stop now. Like this is like such a fulfilling feeling, something like kind of like that. So I was just like, cool, I can run more.
Why not keep going?
Yeah.
Tell me about what it's like having diabetes and like being an athlete, because we're talking, obviously you just mentioned the sort of fear around doing stuff.
It's a lot more like, I wouldn't say it changes anything in your physical ability to do something, but it's so much more preparation and like a thought process behind it. And I guess if your blood sugars are low, obviously you can't perform as well as what you can. If your blood sugars are high, you can't perform. But then it's all just like the planning around, like if I'm going to go for a run, like I need to take lollies, and like even like I've run here and I've got to take like my little lolly bag with me just in case and stuff like that. So you're always carrying stuff, and you can't,
and that's always
you can't just leave the house, and you can't just like get up and go. Like you got to plan it, and say you're about to go for a run and your blood sugars are low, so I've got to wait another 15 minutes and get them right. And then you're constantly going low whilst you run as well, so you definitely need stuff.
And you feel that rather than needing to test it all the time.
Yeah, you can definitely, people are all different. Like sometimes you lose feeling and stuff, but I can definitely feel it. And it's just like, it affects your performance like crazily. And then obviously the mental side of it, like the head fog, and you just can't comprehend a sentence or nothing like that. So it's just
that's
like,
pretty scary.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. And you're trying to talk to people, and it's just like, just a whole nother world. And trying to work out how to do it.
For sure. Yeah. How did you learn that? Like,
it
was that
just trial and error? Trial and error. Like when I started running, I remember this was me and my roommate who kind of started just running together, and it would be like, I'd run for, I think it was like, I can normally do about half hour before I start to go low. I'd just run, go low, stop, eat some sugar, wait, run again, and just like recycle like that. And I literally did that for the first, like the 50 Ks, like that challenge. I did it like that. And it wasn't until like I did this recent challenge, I started working with a nutrition, and she's like, man, no, that is so bad for you. Like, let's try something else. I was like, okay, yeah, why not? And then, so we end up trying different stuff, and it's a lot better now. Like, we have like Tailwind, which is like 60 grams of carbs, but like liquid form. So then I like drip feed that over a space of an hour. Right. And it keeps my levels from crashing. Like, they still crash every now and again, but it's a lot more steady. And you're like, my performance has gone out of the roof, you wouldn't imagine. But
but what was it like as a kid? Were you playing sport?
Yeah, I wasn't diagnosed until I was 16, so I didn't, but like I wasn't overly like a sporty kid enough, and I'd say like I was actually pretty fat. Like I was just kind of lazy. But I played rugby. So I played rugby in year 11 and 12, and I was diabetic before I started playing rugby. And then, so I didn't really know any different. Like I never really got into the sports scene until I was past diabetic. And normally, especially like high contact sports and stuff, adrenaline sometimes raises your blood sugar. And for me, it raises it. So I never really had a risk of going low whilst playing. Yeah. And then I was so focused on the game and stuff, I just kind of throw diabetes out the window. I'm like, no, I'm focused on this.
Is going high like just as bad?
It is as bad for you, but for me, I don't feel the effects of going high as worse. And it's not like, you shouldn't ever aim to go high, but like in my mind, I'm like, I'd rather go higher than low. So because like when you exercise, when you exercise and stuff, you like your blood sugar tends to go low anyway. So I'm like, oh, if it's going high, at least it's not going low. Like I'll just wing it and fix it later, which is probably not a good thing to do, but that's just how I run and got through things like that.
You're still here. You're still running. You're still running a few. So I apologise to anyone listening to that.
That was a big bang, though.
You might get a bit of a shock, but this is our first one outside, so it's pretty cool, a little trial and error. And hey, we're sitting in the middle of the Wollongong Triathlon world championships, so that's pretty cool. So you just sort of mainly through rugby, you figured it out.
Yeah, with the rugby, it'd be like, that was really like at the start of my diagnosis. I literally knew nothing. And I was still like, basically, you get this honeymoon phase where your pancreas kind of, I don't know, like kicks its last little kick, where it like kind of helps a bit. So it was a lot easier to manage back then.
Right.
And then once like my mum was there and stuff, so she's all over it. And then I moved out of home and started running. Yeah, like, do not move out of home. Should realize that. And then once I'm fending for myself and like my whole diet's changed and everything, the running, like it's just a complete different ball game. Like I wouldn't be able to tell a professional rugby player how to do their diabetes,
Right.
and their levels and stuff would be so different to mine. So it's like sometimes it's just some things you got to figure out on your own, and just like trial
like I
and
said, it's
error.
all individual for everyone.
Yeah,
even though
so
the disease is the same.
Yeah.
but it's all manifest
It's actually
differently.
in person.
Yeah. Did you like through the diagnosis period? What was the main driver of that diagnosis? Were you unwell, or was it?
Yeah, so you get like, I was not overweight, but I was like quite a large, like stocky kid. And then it was like 3 months I'd lost all this weight, like skin and bones. And I was like, I started training at the time, like going to the gym and running a little bit. So I just thought like, oh man, I'm losing so much weight. Like how good's this? And then turns out it wasn't.
So if anyone wants to lose some weight, just get
diabetes. Yeah, that'll help. So I ended up like losing all this weight, and I was just really thirsty all the time. Like one night I remember I drank like a full 3 litre milk. And so my parents were like constantly yelling at me, like, what is going on with you? And like you go in the toilet, like I remember like 8 times was probably my record during the night, like just constantly going.
Not after the 3 litres of milk, just
generally. During or something.
But
then so that all stacked up, and then like one thing led to another, and mum was like, "No, we got to go to the hospital, check, see what's up." Sure enough, they finger pricked me, and I was like 33 or something, which is not good. And then so that we went to
what's normal?
I like 4 to 6 kind of thing. So,
Single digits.
Yeah, definitely not above 10. And then, so that was that. And then I went to another like nearby town hospital, Dubbo Hospital, for a week or two. Oh, like a week.
Yeah.
And then they kind of just teach you what's going on and stuff, and then you send off.
And you left off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
And then it's good luck.
Yeah, it's just like well, you see a dietitian, and like they do a lot, like whilst you're in the hospital, and they make sure that you're kind of competent with it before they send you out. Yeah, and they make sure your parents know what's going on and stuff. But
how are your parents? Were they freaking out a bit, or was it
no? Like mum and dad are so like yin and yang. Mum was like, mum was studied everything, figured out like the whole. Like she could have like, I don't know, wrote an essay on diabetes by the end of it. She really took it on. And then dad was like, he's always like laid back and kind of chill, so he didn't, like he learnt it all, but he didn't really like, mum was like freaking out, like, oh my God, you can't do this and this and this. Not can't do, but like, you should be wary. And dad was just like, oh well, like,
figure it out.
Yeah, literally. So I think it was kind of.
So you took your dad's route?
Yeah, oh, big time. Yeah, I think it was good in that sense, like to have both, because my mum would worry and like give me lollies and stuff, and then dad would be like, nah, just go for it, man. Like, so I think that ended up, like for me anyway, ended up helping me a lot with the diagnosis. And then my brother is like just like my dad, but even more pushy with just doing stuff. So like, I never really got a chance to sit around.
What's the age gap between you two?
Like 1.5 years or something. So he's like my best friend. So it's like awesome. And he's like, he's like a real adrenaline junkie kind of person. So he's just forced me to do all this stuff. And mum's like, oh, you can't do that. Like you need sugar. Yeah. So mum really went through it, but me and the boys were fine. So
I suppose that's the main thing.
Yeah. So
has she calmed down over the years?
Yeah, she's definitely gotten better. I think once I moved out, it was another level of stress, like on top of that. But I don't know, maybe she's still freaking out about it, but she doesn't tell me as much. But
sure.
Yeah.
What was the driver of you moving out? Was it just natural?
Well, I wanted to be a tattoo artist. So in Mudgee at the time, there was no tattoo shops. And I was like, I was really into it, like into tattooing and stuff. And I was like, I ended up breaking my jaw, and it was just kind of like a big ego death for me.
Jeez, how did you manage that?
Oh, long story. Yeah.
We're not going to get into that.
No, I can't get into that one. And then, anyway, there's a lot of alcohol involved. And so I was like, I need to get out of Mudgee. Like, what am I doing with my life? And I was tattooing at the time, and I was like, I need to take this seriously. So my roommate, were living in Wollongong. So I was like, I'll just move to Wollongong. And
your mate from Mudgee?
Yeah. So like school friends and stuff moved to Wollongong before me. And then so I just followed suit. They had a spare room and stuff. I was going to try to get a job down there. And then I think 3 months into living here, I landed a tattoo apprenticeship, which was good, and then it ended up not being what I wanted. So a year down the track, ended up quitting that, and now I'm just a bartender, just living life.
Yeah,
Really.
awesome. That's a pretty big roller coaster for a few years.
It was, yeah. It was a massive, like, I don't know, it was a massive low point after breaking the jaw and like moving to Mudgee, moving to Wollongong and like homesick and all that. And then,
Did you get homesick? Was that
massive. I reckon I'm still homesick.
Really?
Like, yeah. I don't think that'll ever go away.
How long's it been now since you've been?
That was 2022. I moved out.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't think I was too young. It was probably a good time to do it, and I've definitely grown as a person. Like I'm doing so much different stuff now, but yeah, you still like always miss living with your parents.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Just that safety.
The comfort.
Yeah. But then, so then after like quitting the tattoo, I thought that was what I was going to do for life. So I was like so lost and like, oh man, like that's my whole identity. Like everyone knows me as a tattoo artist and all that. And then that's when I found running, and now I guess I'm known as the runner. So so like I just latch on to different
Ned
stuff.
Yeah. So that's how did that change for you identity-wise from being the tattoo artist to stopping that and then getting into running? Like, how did you get over the loss of?
It was, I quit social media and everything. Like I just went off the grid, and we were really lucky. At the same time, we went on a family holiday to like Northern Territory, WA, like road trip wise, and I was just like stare out the window trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. And it was a good trip. And then once I got back, I was just like, like bouncing off different stuff. Just like, I was still drawing and stuff like that, but I was just like so lost, didn't know what to do. And I guess just by being bored, I just started running. Like, and my roommate was like a bit of a runner at the time. So we just started running together. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I want to run 200 Ks this month. And then that started, and then I was like, I didn't run for like a whole week or whatever. I was like, oh no, it's like I got to run. So I ran,
the month is finished next week.
So I ran a little bit, and then I ended up doing my first 30K. The next week I did my first marathon, and the week after that I did my first 50K, and that was just pure off boredom, like, and just wanting to do something and wanting to feel something, and then just kind of latched onto there. And
Were you not satisfied after a shorter run? Was it like,
I was
need
like,
more?
Yeah, I was chasing that feel. Like, you get that feeling when you finish a run, like, how good is this? And then like I think I did 2 half marathons back to back before I went on that WA trip, and got back, and I was like I need that feeling again. Did another half marathon, didn't get it. I was like, no, I need more. So like did the 30K. I was like, yeah, this feels good. I was like, no, I need more. So I just built like that until
What were you chasing? What was the feeling? Like, what did you want?
Just like that feeling of accomplishment again. Like, because everyone would like, when you post your tattoos, everyone texts you and go like, oh, how good's this? Like, I don't know. It's like kind of like feeding my ego or whatever.
Yeah, cool.
So I guess I was chasing that, but I wasn't even on social media at the time. So it was more just like kudos on Strava, I guess. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I was just kind of I don't know. I just felt it made me feel good about myself. So I was just like, oh, well, I'm doing this.
Was it linked to the diabetes stuff, or was it completely separate?
Like, I didn't realize how much of an impact the whole diabetes and all that had on me until like when I started the 30, the first marathon, first 50K, was nothing to do with that. Like, I was just running just to do something and just to feel something. Like, and then I was talking to Dad, like, oh, I want to do a run and stuff. And he's like, yeah, like, do it for diabetes. And I was like, why would I do that? And he's like, you're literally diabetic. Like, why would you not? And I was like, I guess, like, it's not that hard. And then, because to me, it wasn't that hard. Like, it was just like what I'd done. Like, and then, it turns out by doing it, apparently it is quite hard. So I was like, yeah, righto.
Yeah, and hence why we're sitting here. This is incredible what you've done.
It kind of just built naturally like that. Like, from doing that first 50K, it was probably maybe a month later, I thought about doing something. And then that led into doing the 50 for 5 days. Yeah. And then I was just heavy into training for that. And it just gave me something to work towards. Like, I was still working the nights and stuff, but it just gave me a bit more of a purpose back. Yeah. So I was just like, I started the Instagram, like I started back on social media and stuff like that. And I just knuckled down and started running heaps. And then
how was the mental side of that when you, like, even starting to get back into social media and stuff?
Oh, it was shocking. Like, I hated social media so much. Like, I was pretty on it for the tattoo stuff. Like, you got to be pretty on social media and stuff. And I always was kind of like that. I'd go pretty hard at social media, then just drop off it for a little bit, and then like back and forth. And then, like, looking back on it, that time of social media was like one of the best times of my life. Like, I wish I could do that again. But then you get so much reach, and you reach so many more people by being on social media. Like, you just can't give it up. So it's like, then getting back into it is so scary to start posting like myself and like what I'm doing and my runs and stuff. And it wasn't even until like last month when I was able to talk to the camera like fluently, I guess, like what you call. Like, I was so awkward at the start. And it was just, it just started.
Was it a nerve thing? Like, were you
it was just like people, like, I don't know if people did judge me. They obviously would have, but like I was so scared of judgment and stuff. And I thought everyone would, that's not what I am to everyone. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, like, they're going to think I'm so different now. Like, I'm not the same person.
And is that like, what's that fear of judgment? Is it more like, what like?
I don't know. I guess like I was always kind of like overweight in like year 7 and stuff, and I just kind of latched on from that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I feel like everyone's always staring at me and all that kind of stuff. Like,
did you feel that at school? Like, was that a main?
Not like I wasn't ever picked on. I was never like, but I felt like that
Yeah.
at school all the time. But I was always like, I had heaps of friends and stuff. Like I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was never like off on my own or nothing like that. But I always felt like it. And then, I don't know. I guess they kind of all just come back after quitting social media and getting back on it. Like felt like my first day of year 7 again when I first posted. Oh my god! But honestly, like I've never had like a negative word said about it. Like the reception of it's been unreal. So everyone just kind of got around it, and then it's just kept growing so naturally, and like it's been like probably like the best thing I ever did.
That's I mean,
it led me here. So like,
exactly. I mean, we're sitting here having a very public chat about your mental health. Like it's pretty. Thinking about it, it's pretty cool. Like we just had a couple of people walking past, and like,
staring at us, trying to talk, and they're looking at me.
I mean, we're just sitting here like athletes, running past, and the age group starting. Like it's a pretty cool story. To be able to actually verbalize and chat.
It's a lot better now. Like if you'd done this with me like a few months ago, I would not even open up about any of that stuff. And now I just don't, like, not that I don't care, but I just feel like it's like, oh well, like this is what's happened. It's like, that's me. Yeah.
Love it. So the 50Ks in 5 days. Then I want to talk about the world record.
We probably
because I mean that's kind of like why we're here, I guess.
Yes.
But from there to there, what happened? Like why?
So I did the 50Ks. I was obviously wrecked for a bit. Like I don't reckon I even ran until like near Christmas again, and that was in November. And I was like, I got to do something else. And then I wanted to do like a 100K run, so I ended up doing that in April. Like I did 30Ks like on the footpath and 70Ks around on the blue tracks. Kind of like the same time Ned did the blue track thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, I guess he did it. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess I was just copying him in that sense. Ended up doing that in a day, and then
don't copy his injuries.
Yeah. No. Come back. And then so I was like, did that, and I didn't raise any money for the 100K or whatever. And then I started talking to the Type 1 Foundation again, and I was like, oh, like I want to do something a bit bigger. And
like, so how did that just happen? Like what was, you did the 100Ks, not even for the diabetes thing?
Oh, like it was more for awareness. I wasn't for raising money. I just did it through like posting on Instagram and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I met like a Type 1 Foundation, I guess, representative, or I don't know, they knew them at another event previously in the year. Like I think it was probably back in November anyway.
Yeah. And just by chance?
Yeah. Like we just sat on the same table and they just started talking about it. I was like, oh, that sounds great.
I love that. That's nice.
And then, so I was like, if I'm going to do another like charity event, I want to do it for them. And then so like I did the 100K and I called them up and I was like, I want to raise you some money. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but I'm going to raise you money. And they're like, yeah, I'm sure they get that a lot. So yeah, whatever. Right.
Another one.
Yeah. And then I was looking at the Guinness World Records that was back near Christmas. And it's like they had this new category, like most consecutive marathons for a Type 1 diabetic male, and it hadn't been set yet. And I was like, it
hadn't been set?
It had nothing. It had nothing there. So I was like, oh, well, I've done technically 6 or 5 in a row. So I messaged them, whatever, and I was like, I did 5. And
how did you? So what was that message like? Oh, how's the how-to guide to break a world record?
Well, I didn't realize, but they were like, look, you have no evidence. And I was like, oh, I did it. Like, I swear I did it. But anyway, so then they're like, well, you need to do 25 for us to kind of count it, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
So they set the benchmark.
Yeah, they set the benchmark. Wow. And
25.
Yeah, because I was talking to Adam about what to do, and we'll like teeter-tottering about just doing 20.
Yeah.
And then Guinness come back to me and said, you need to do 25. And I was, well, you need to beat 25. So I was like, I'll do 26.
Gotta do 26.
That'll do. And then, so I think we kind of locked in doing the 26 probably around May or June.
Yeah.
And then I ended up doing it like, what was it, August. So so it kind of come around pretty quickly after I locked it in. Yeah. But I'd always had that thought of doing consecutive marathons way back from Christmas, I guess. And then it just naturally, and then it happened, and then did it.
That's ridiculous. So you were working with, obviously, from your injuries from the November runs.
Yeah.
Like, were the injuries better when you decided to do the 26 marathons?
Oh yeah, like I was ruined over 5 days. Like I was in no way near that state for the 20, like the whole 26 days. I was nowhere near it. Like I guess your body kind of just like, not that it knew what was going to happen, but it's got that kind of background a little bit. And even when I did the 100, I had no injuries, and I guess that's just from working with Adam. Like I actually had help and more of a stable plan, whereas before, like I just did what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then once I got to the 26, I was so much more prepared. Like I had a nutritionist, I had a run coach, I had a performance coach, then I had Adam, like the physio. And so like all these things, and then it obviously worked very well. And we just, manage my injuries as they came, not just me just trying to run with them and like get through it. It'd be like, Adam, this is wrong. And you'd be like, all right, we'll fix it. And then,
I love that. Yeah. So how did you feel getting a team then? Because you'd done all of this by yourself, like from rugby through all the running, and now you've got 6 people telling you what to do.
Yeah, look, I never did it like by myself. Like I always had the boys around me and stuff, but they've got no background in like endurance.
They're just motivation.
Yeah. But then having all these people that knew so much, and they'd be like, why were you doing it like that? I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, this is how I do things. And they're like, nah, do it like this. Or like, oh my God, like your body is cooked. And I'm like, no, sorry. And like, even like the whole nutrition side, like he'd be telling me stuff like, oh, maybe like try something like this and try something like this. I'm like, why didn't I not think of this? Like, why didn't I reach out earlier? And then obviously with all that help, like.
So that was more trial and error though.
Yeah, with the nutrition, because even him, like he was a really good sports nutritionist, but he didn't really know much in the diabetes side.
Yeah.
So it'd be like him telling me what to do from a sports side of it, and I'd be like, oh, well, I can't really have that juice before the run or something like that because it would spike my blood sugar and be like, all right, we'll try this and try that. And then we ended up just we probably worked together for maybe 2 months before the actual start of the marathons.
Yeah.
Trying to just get it all like dialed in, but like I don't think we got a perfect day.
I don't think like will it ever.
No, like I told him that I was like, look, I'm probably like, this is never going to be perfect. So like, I don't want to let you down, but we're going to be struggling the whole time.
I still love how it's like you're letting them down and you're the athlete. That's a good.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I just owe it to him. Like I could never miss a training session. Like even to my coach, I was so nervous to tell him that I was going, because I did another Western Australia trip probably about 3 weeks before I started the marathons. I didn't tell him until like the week before, and I thought he was going to yell at me for like, why would you do that? And I thought I was going to let him down. And he's like, yeah, that's cool, man. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right.
That's
like,
awesome. Yeah, I love it.
Like no one,
So through the nutrition, through the actual runs, so did you do the same thing every marathon?
Essentially, like with the nutrition, I'd wake up, have like a peanut butter wrap and like eat it as hell. And then eat you'd have to kind of adjust like your insulin intake and stuff like that daily. That would always change, but the stuff I ate was always pretty much the same because it's just easier to kind of like remember and do that. And then like whilst running, it'd be like the same kind of like I'd have the tailwind over an hour and then gels when I needed or whatever. And then afterwards I'd have like another 3 big meals, and it was just like eating.
Yeah.
Just...
How'd you feel after them? Like,
you did
come and go. 5 days, and now you're doing 26 days.
I remember like the first day, it was like, it didn't dawn on me how long 26 days was. And I did the first day and I was like, oh God, like, oh no, like, I said, I'm 25 days on that. But I didn't want to like tell anyone that. So I was like, oh no, it's fine. The first day was easy. Second day, like, I probably felt the worst like internally on the second day, like gut wise, like I guess just eating all that and then trying to run. And then third day, it was like,
did that go away?
Yeah, it did. Like I had very little gut issues, which was good. I think the second day is the only time that I stopped and like dry raged. Yeah. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And then
during the run?
Yeah, during the whole 26.
Yeah, thing. Right.
Yeah. And then the third day, like it was like very hard the first kind of 7 days, and then it just got easier from there really.
Yeah.
Like it'd come and go, like you'd get like really high points, low points, but
yeah, sure. What was the like structure of the runs? Did you go out for PBs? Did you look for a certain pace? Were you running with people?
It started out, my coach was like, do not go fast, like just take it easy, like ease in for whatever. Like start out. I did my first marathon. It was my second fastest marathon ever. Not saying like my marathon time's not very fast, but yeah, my first.
What was it?
It was like 4 hours 11 minutes or something.
That's unreal.
And then, so that was day one, and then day two like dropped down to like 5 hours or something. I was like, oh yeah, that's a reality check I needed.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of take it by feel. Like I was kind of aiming to run around the 6 minute Ks kind of thing.
Yeah.
And not go too fast in that. And then like, I think it was like the Sunday before I finished, so like a week out from finishing, I set my third fastest marathon. And then on the day before, like, so the 26th day, I set like a reset the third fastest marathon. And that was like, I was waiting around because I was trying to finish at a certain time. So I was like, I was just running and then I'd wait and sit there for 10 minutes and just run again and whatever. And then I still ended up setting my third fastest time. So I was like, oh, well, shit, like, I wonder how fast I could actually go. But yeah, so kind of like the pace is, like, I think my slowest time was 5 hours 30 on one of the rain days, and that was just hell. But yeah, so kind of range between 5:30 and 4 hours, I guess. Yeah.
And then was it always in the morning or was it at night?
Yeah,
Did you plan
it was always,
Like, what was...
I started between like 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. every day without fail. Like it was, and I remember talking to my coach and I was like, oh, I think I might start later tomorrow because I just want to sleep in. And we're kind of not near the finish, but we'll pass halfway. And he goes, if you don't start at 6, like that's it for you. If you make one excuse, like you're done. And I was like, oh, no, fair enough. Yeah, like I probably shouldn't start now.
So accurate.
Yeah, so he's like, don't, just stick it to the 6 a.m.s. Like no matter what you do, just stick at that. Like start, once you make that first excuse, he said like they'll just roll in. And I was like, that probably saves me from just getting later and later. So yeah, it was always 6 a.m. at the latest.
Did you want to make it later the further it went on? You're like, just
a little bit. Like I loved getting it over and done with early, but then I was like, because I was working the nights too, I was just like, man, I just want to sleep, I just want to sleep. But then it was just, some days were hot. So some days like you just had to get up and go for it. And then like I still had to do stuff during the days sometimes. So it's just like get it over and done with early. And I don't know, everyone's around on the Blue Mile in the morning. So it's much better, like seeing everyone you know and stuff. So I guess that just helped in that sense.
That's awesome. Did you always do the same route? Was it the same?
I reckon the first 3 days they changed because I was meant to go north one day, south the next, kind of rotate like that. And I did 2 south days and I was like, this is so bad. Like the south is nothing. It's just highway and no one there. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm just going north. And then I did the same route for probably more than 20 days. I reckon it would have been just up to like Brodie and then back. And just kept rotating that.
I think anyone running in Wollongong would resonate with that, going like, we'll change up and go south and
never go south.
Straight to Port
never
Kembla,
go
and
south.
then it's like, it's straight along the highway.
Terrible.
It's the worst. No one's there. It's
cool.
Yeah, did you have people running with you? Did you have a...
Yeah.
I know Adam and Eddie and Liam and stuff
like,
came in.
There was not a day where I ran like alone for the whole thing.
Yeah. So you had a bit of a group?
Yeah, so every day, like I'd have like consistently like the same kind of group start with me in the mornings, like my roommates and a few friends from the gym, they'd always be there at the start. And then I'd just be running and like a few of my mates would run past me, like, oh yeah, we're running with you, and then they'd turn around, run a bit with me, or like some days the gym would get a bit of a run club with me, and then it just kind of grew like that. Random people would come and like, yeah, I've got a son that's diabetic, can I run with you and stuff like that. And stuff like that, which was awesome. So I was never really, like I was alone for parts of it, but never like a full day. So it was great.
Yeah, that's really cool. Tell me about the fundraising stuff, like the awareness of that actual diabetes. I guess that's kind of half the reason you did. Was it, was it for the diabetes awareness? Was it for the breaking the world record?
Oh, no, like I said at the start, like to all my all the boys and stuff, like I could not care about a world record. Like I was like, like it's cool, it's good, it's good for awareness. Like people are like, oh, it's a world record, like, oh, that's cool and stuff. But like internally, like I could not care. Like, it did not bother me in the slightest. Like I was more doing it, like partly for myself, like for that whole, like what we talked about before, that purpose and the feel stuff, and then like on just me trying to get that purpose at all these chain events, like helps all these other people. So it was like so much more focused on that than the 26 marathons. Like I couldn't care less.
Yeah. And then the awareness side, in terms of like, when you said people came up to you and was, oh, my son's got diabetes, can you run with you? Like, what'd that feel like? What was that?
Some day, like, because I'm like going through all this, like the marathons, like some days I'm so depleted and like they're telling me all this deep stuff and like I feel just so emotionless. Some days it'd be a real struggle for me to like kind of connect with people and stuff, and that would really play on me. Like I'd get home and,
just like, your energy levels?
Yeah, just like me as like myself. I'm like, man, like they probably think I'm such like a loser and like they hate me and all this. Like just play it all that. Like, oh, I should have been nice. I should ask this question and all that. But then I guess they probably understood like what I was going through, I guess. But then like other times I reckon I'd probably hit the nail on the head, like I was like, like I was do stuff like that. But yeah, so it kind of like fluctuated in that.
That's how did you deal with that mental load? That's fatiguing.
Yeah, that was the toughest part of it. Like I thought my body would be depleting and my mental would be like, keep going and keep going. My body was like practically fine. And my mental was just like, man, like it was like, I had so much support with me all the time. And I was just like, sometimes I just want to be alone. Like, please stop talking to me. Like, and I couldn't say like, oh, leave me alone. Like, this is the whole point of it. Like, get people out here and stuff. But that was probably the hardest part, like trying to fluctuate my moods and stuff and remain like happy to see people and happy to do all this and or stuff like that. Which
Did you have to force it? Like, was it
like sometimes like I wouldn't say that I'm a mean person. Like I try not to be anyway.
I think we've had a nice conversation so far.
So it's not like I have to force it, but just sometimes, you know, like you just want to be alone. And it's like I don't think, well, I hope I wasn't rude to anyone, but it'd probably come across sometimes where I'd just be like mute, like just, people would ask me stuff and stuff. Yeah, whatever. Like, don't talk to me. But that was like one of the biggest struggles. I'd get home like, oh, I was so rude today. Like, it would really, like, that was the biggest part of it, I reckon.
And like that reflection when you got home was not, how good am I for running another marathon? It's going, oh, I was rude to that guy. That's cool.
It was, I never really thought of like, I don't know, I tend not to think very highly of myself, like at all, just like the whole thing. And I think that's like what keeps me like pushing on to the next thing, which is probably like, good and bad. Like, I don't know.
It's not ego driven.
No, but like, I don't know. I'm just like so scared people think it's going to be, like I'm doing it for my ego and stuff like that. So I guess I like go the other way really, really hard. So it's like, it's kind of like a catch-22, but.
Is that from childhood? Is that like...
Yeah, I think it's always like, it's just like, I've never been, I don't know. I hate celebrating stuff that I do. So just like, oh no. Like even on the last day, Mum was like, oh, we want to do this for you. We want to get like all these people. And I was like if I had it up to me, I didn't want to do anything. But I was like, oh, like it's kind of the point. Like I was like, yeah, Mum, you just sort it all out. Don't tell me anything. I don't want to hear about it, or I'd say don't do it. Like, so it was just in that sense.
Was it like, is it an embarrassment sort of thing, or you?
I don't know. Like I find it really hard to talk in front of people and just like I don't know, be myself in front of people. Like it took me so long just to be myself in front of a camera, and then like be in front of like all these people at finish and stuff. It was just so like, I don't know. I guess I was scared. I didn't know how to act and stuff like that. And I was like, what do I do? Like asking all my friends, like, how do I celebrate? Like, what do I do? Like, they're like, I don't know, just say like, woohoo or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm very scared of what other people think of me. And I think that's just like put me in a bit of a shell. But I guess we're breaking out of it slowly. So.
Mate, you're doing a podcast in the middle of Wollongong.
Which is good, It's come a long way. Like people that know me from like high school and stuff like that, I'd be a completely different person, I reckon.
Yeah. And you're pretty like from that high school, it's just shut off, really kind of reserved.
Yeah, like I had a lot of friends and stuff, but I don't know, just feel like a different person. Like I would never talk in groups or anything like that. I always be quite quiet and reserved, but I don't know. Now I still don't like talking in groups, but I feel a bit more confident to do it. You know what I mean?
And I guess that's what's the reflection now after, I mean, when did you finish? When was your last one?
21st of September,
21st September. So you're about, 3 weeks or something. Yeah. Probably mid-October. Yeah. It's like, what's the reflection afterwards?
I find talking to people so much easier, especially strangers. Like you get a few like people that will come up to you and say like, oh, I followed your stuff and whatever. And I just talk to them like they're my friend now, which is cool.
Yeah.
Whereas before I'd just be like, like I'd be struggling to say like, how are you back? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's how like shy and awkward I was. So I guess it's like just being able to talk to someone, like even you, like I guess it's our first time meeting and I'm talking
100%,
to you.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just like kind of letting down that wall and just talking to anyone like they're my friend, which is good. So that's probably the biggest thing I've taken away from it. Like
there's absolutely been zero awkwardness for that. Like it's like we've been mates for 20 years. It's genuinely, because I mean, this meeting anyone for this sort of stuff, it does feel, forced and that sort of thing. And I was like, oh, I wonder how this is going to go. And then I talked to Adam about, how like what kind of your story was a little bit. I didn't want to know too much because I wanted to get it from you. And then he was like, dude, don't worry about it. Like
he probably knows, but I first saw him, I was probably like shut off and quiet as, and now I guess our relationship is growing.
And he didn't give me heaps because I didn't want him to. I didn't want to give him. He would just go on to the, nah, man, he'll love it. Like he'll be sweet. So it was quite surprised to be like, oh, you're not loving this. Like this is not you.
Yeah,
that's really
I'm
cool.
On fire. Like,
And then you've come out and done a world record, most marathons by a type 1 diabetic, and all the publicity that sort of comes with that. Completely changed your outlook. What is the mental side of it now in terms of like outlook? I know we're getting deep, but that's
I'm cool with that.
But like what's the outlook on life? And you said more confident talking to people, but what's the vision for the future?
Like I guess now that I can talk to people, like I just want to keep spreading like what I'm doing and just like it's never been faced off like a getting famous factor or anything like that. But I feel like there's so many more diabetics that, or like just people in general really, that I could help essentially. So I'm like, I want to grow it, but I also don't want to grow it in a sense like I don't want to be like doing influency stuff and all that, like doing like all that kind of stuff. So it's like I would love for it to grow and get massive and everyone know the story and help a lot of people. But then again, I'm like, oh, I don't really want to force the growth too hard. Like I think I just keep doing what I'm doing, and the way that's going, like its trajectory is up anyway. So it's just like now that I'm more confident to talk to people, I think I'm able to do more group events and stuff like that and do different stuff like different media stuff and different like online social media stuff. So I think it'll just grow naturally, but I'm not out to like make it grow. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like it's that ego thing as well. Like I just don't want to like, I don't want people to think that I'm out here to get famous or like stuff like that. But I'm just like, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and just reach as many people as possible really.
Is that genuinely like more about the people not judging you kind of thing for going, oh, I don't want to be that influencer. I don't want to have that awareness because people are going to judge me for it?
Yeah, massively. Like I was so adamant on, I don't want people to think I'm doing this like for my ego and for people to think like, oh my God, like he's so great and all that.
Yeah.
So like, that's what I say, like it just turns the other way so hard where I like shut up and go, no, like I won't talk about what I've done or nothing like that. So it's just like finding that fine line where to talk about what I've done to help people, but not talk about what I've done too much where it's like, look at me, like how great am I kind of thing. So it's just like walking that fine line, I guess.
I mean, it's so hard to do. Like, it's pretty easy to be that influencer for the ego side of it and not forget about the actual reason why you're doing it.
Yeah, literally.
What is it to you when you were talking about like helping people? What do you see? What's your vision for that? Like, what do you want to be able to do?
I just like, I've seen like, even when I was doing the runs, like it's just a random example, but a mum posted on a story, like me and my, I don't know how old, maybe 6 or something. Yeah. Me and my 6-year-old who's type 1 diabetic, the 6-year-old are going on our first hike today. And we're taking all our lollies because we've seen type run like me do these marathons. So we feel like we're able to do it. I remember
that literally just gave me goosebumps. Like that was genuinely, I was like, and I'm watching you're kidding.
I'm watching the story. Like
that's incredible.
That's like, there's so many more examples, but that's just the one that sticks out to me. And I was like, well, like this is just me like running and this is doing this for these people just to get outside and like do a bit of exercise that scares them. Well, scares the parent, maybe not scares her. I don't know, but.
I mean, look at your mum.
Yeah,
when you were a kid, like, you know, they're probably going to be the fear.
It's more the parent side of it. So it's just like,
especially with kids.
Yeah. So I think I'm more like focused on helping the kids, but it's not like obviously there's adults and stuff that will benefit from it too. But that's kind of like, that's what I get out of it. Like, you know, like that's the kicker. Like that's like, how good is that?
That's awesome. Yeah. That's genuinely gave me goosebumps. I like, this is so cool. What's next? We talked about you started running now. Again, you're 3 weeks down. You're back to your run. You said this was your 4th run this morning.
Yeah, my 4th run. My first day was a 3K. It was incense.
Down for a coffee.
I don't know. Like I think I've done a lot in running sense, and I like running, obviously. Like you'd hope so, but like I want to do something else that still like is out of my comfort zone. Like I want to continue to do other stuff. So like I've been talking to my brother, like he's a boxer and stuff. So maybe doing like a boxing fight or just something that's not like just something different, like something that's not, because everyone knows I can run obviously now. So it's like,
that's done.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, he can obviously run. So if I was going to run again, if I was going to do like a running event again, it would have to be like substantially big, you know what I mean? So I'm not sure if that will happen next year or 2 years down the track. And I'm just focused on like hanging out with my friends and just enjoying life a bit now.
Yeah.
Like just like, cause I've been so like not a 21-year-old for so long. And I'm like, man, I kind of miss it. Like I miss just partying with the friends, like with all the boys and stuff. So I'm just like taking it easy.
It really didn't seem like before, you know, even before you moved out of home, like that you were enjoying life. Like, was it a struggle?
Oh, like, don't get me wrong. I definitely was. Like I was having the time of my life. Like it just like internally, I was like, just like scared and just like the kid. I guess a lot of people go through that. But like, as like, I had like a sick like childhood. Like it was tops. Like I was like, when I was playing rugby, I was like partying every weekend and stuff like that, which was awesome at the time, but I just wanted something else. Like, so I just did something else. You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily look at it as a bad time at all.
Yeah.
Like it turned me this direction. I'm like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it was like, I wasn't enjoying life. Like it was tops, but it just like wasn't enjoying life as much as what I am now, I guess.
Sure.
So, know what I mean? So it's like, And then like even like I could go back to Mudgee and play rugby and have the time of my life again. But now that I know this is out there, like there's so much more for me like to do stuff like this. So it's not like, I wouldn't say I was ever in like a downturn of my life or nothing like that. It was just like I've just found different ways to enjoy myself and do different stuff. So
was it a direction thing in terms of like, you still enjoyed it, but you, like you were saying, you were enjoying at the time and like when you were, you made the most out of it, but you didn't have any pathway.
Yeah, I think once I like broke my jaw and I was in the hospital, I was like, I'm going to keep doing this for the next 20 years. Well, what am I going to achieve here? So I was like, I need to make that next step. And
that was a massive shift.
Even when I was tattooing, I was like, am I going to sit inside for the next 40 years for the rest of my life? Like, this is not what I want to do. And it just kind of keeps changing like that. Like, I just take it year by year and it's like, this is what I want to do. So I'll just do it. And like, that's it. Really. Like, you know what I mean?
So conquered running. We're on the potentially boxing. That's cool.
That would be cool. I don't know. Like, I'm still up in the air about everything. Like, I probably will do a running event in the future because, like, obviously, like, I've got such a big background base built on running and stuff like that. And I don't necessarily hate it. And I don't, so I would run again, but I just want to do something different just to show, like, you reach more people by doing something different that more different people like. Like, even last year, it was this year. For my 21st, I got my scuba diving ticket. And like, as a diabetic, like being underwater for 40 minutes, how are you meant to eat sugar and stuff like that?
Can't take your lollies in your wetsuit.
Literally, that scared the absolute hell out of me. But I want to do more stuff like that diabetics are scared to do because of what they like. So I ticked that off the list, and that was like the scariest experience ever.
Tell us about, what was that about? Like,
well, my brother, he like loves all that stuff, and I'm petrified of sharks, and like I'm petrified of the ocean. And he's like, I got your scuba diving ticket for your 21st, and I was like, what?
Did he do it for like shits and gigs, or was that like?
Oh no, I ended up loving it. Like, but no, like he's just one of those people who knows, like, he knows I would enjoy it, but I'm too scared to do it myself. So he just gets it for me and makes me do it. Like, he did it with me, but he's just like one of those, like, he's just like he's like pulling my hand. When to go and stuff. So yeah. And then we scuba dived and ticked that off the list. It ended up being like, I loved it. Like, it was the coolest experience of my life.
Where'd you do it? Was that here?
Yeah, so we did it like Bass Point with the grey nurses and that. And then when we went to WA before the run, we scuba dived with my cousins and stuff over there who were into it. So.
And how's your relationship with sharks now?
It's a bit better. Like, you still see them go, oh God, but it's a lot nicer when you're under the water. Like when they're not.
When you're next to them.
When you're not gnawing your leg and stuff like that. But so then, like,
that's unreal.
That feeling you get from just doing stuff that really, really scares you, that's what I like. So I think I want to do a bit more of that. Like, whether, I don't know what it'll be, but like, I'll figure it out. But there's definitely stuff that scares me. So we'll figure that out. And then, whether I run again, see what happens.
That's really cool. I think, look, I think the tripod's about done, almost. So look, apologies to anyone actually watching this. No, hopefully the audio is good. Brodie, like, thanks heaps for taking the time out, mate.
No, I appreciate it.
It's
awesome.
It's been an awesome chat. Like, I didn't know where it was going to go. I did not expect where it was going to go. So
that's good.
I thought we were just going to talk about the 26 marathons, the 26 days. Like, that in itself is incredible. So I really appreciate you getting
vulnerable. No, that's all right. I appreciate it.
Like, a good little outlook into Wollongong Harbour,
at least it looks good,
in the middle of the World Triathlon Championships. So maybe triathlon's the next step for you.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't call me up actually. Like, I was expecting it, but no.
Look, I think he's asking, he's calling your name. I mean, the music's getting up. I reckon they've started some races now, so we'll go down and have watch those. But yeah, mate, really appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No worries.